What's going on, guys? It's Brandon back here again today for another career video. Yesterday we talked about the funny story of how a Blackhawks player was arrested in my hometown. Excuse me. That player was Tuomo Ruutu, so why not do a career video on Tuomo Ruutu, who is who's not the first overall pick? That would be something. He was the 9th overall pick in the first round in 2001, so he's a top 10 pick in the 2001 draft, so high expectations. And he hasn't come over it from Finland until 2003-04, but he plays 82 games, 23 goals, 21 assists, 44 points, and he's 6th in Calder voting. Pretty good start there. No playoffs because Chicago is DS at this time, or I'll just say dog crap. 2005-2006, he only plays 15 games because he has a back injury, and then he has ankle surgery. So he only plays 15 games, 2 goals, 3 assists, 5 points. No playoffs once again for Chicago. 2006-2007, he plays 71 games. The Hawks are still bad. 17 goals, 21 assists, 38 points. He's surprisingly one of the top scorers, probably like top 6-7 scorers on this team. And he considers before the season even starts, he considers retirement as he doesn't play extremely well in the 2006. It was one of the 2006 international something. He considered retirement, but then he signs a 3-year extension with the Blackhawks for $2.75 million per year. So he keeps playing. But yeah, so he gets those 38 points, and then 2007-2008 would be his last season with Chicago. He plays 60 games, 6 goals, 15 assists, 21 points. It is early in that season where the event where he gets arrested mistakenly takes place. And he's always playing with Taves and Kane. His points drop, which is surprising because Kane and Taves had pretty good rookie seasons. Kane won the Calder, and Taves was 3rd in Calder. He's traded at the deadline, however, to Carolina in 2007-08. He's traded 1-for-1 with Andrew Ladd, who, of course, becomes a big part of the Chicago Blackhawks Stanley Cup 2010 team. He comes back later on in 2016. But he plays 17 games then with Carolina, 4 goals, 7 assists, 11 points in those 17 games. Not bad. Not bad. So with 32 points that entire year. No playoffs once again because Carolina did not like the playoffs that year either. He makes the playoffs once in his career, actually, and that's the funny thing. In 2008-09, 79 games played, 26 goals, 28 assists, 54 points. He sets a career high that year. 16 games played in the playoffs, 1 goal, 3 assists, 4 points. That's interesting because he was probably one of their top scorers, Carolina. Because Carolina, they didn't have a lot of top guys. They had Eric Stahl, and Rod Brindamore was already about 40. So I'm not sure who else really was playing forward there. Jeff Skinner had not come in yet. And so 4 points in 16 games, it's not good enough. And when you're swept by the Penguins in that conference final, and who did they beat? They beat the Devils in 7 to start. Then they beat the Bruins in 7, the top seed. And then they lost the Penguins in 4, so that adds up to 18 games. So he didn't even play every game, so maybe he was injured, but who knows. 2009-2010, Carolina drops back out of the playoffs, and his play dips. 54 games played, 14 goals, 21 assists, 35 points. I should mention at this point, Carolina also signs him to an extension. 2010-2011, 82 games played for the second time in his career. The last time was all the way back in 2003-2004. I should have mentioned during the 2004-05 lockout, he took time to recover from injuries. He also did some commentary in the Finnish league back in his home. 19 goals that year, 38 assists for 57 points. That'd be a career high. And that kind of defined, he was also playing with a rookie Jeff Skinner. That kind of defined Tuomo Ruutu's career. He was a good player on bad teams. That kind of sums it up. If he was on bad teams, he could put up points, but he never really got a chance to be with a really good team. Like, he never made the playoffs until 6-seeded Carolina back in 2009. 2011-2012, he plays 72 games, 18 goals, 16 assists, back down to 34 points. So you get the 54 point, 35 point, 57 point, 34 points. So just back and forth at this point. 2012-13, he only plays 17 games with Carolina that season due to injury. 4 goals, 5 assists, 9 points in those 17 games. So he probably would have ended up around 30-ish points if that season goes along. Maybe. I'd say maybe like 25-ish, 25-30. 2013-14, 57 games played. He's just continued. This is where he could not stay healthy. 5 goals, 11 assists, 16 points in those 57 games. And then at the deadline that year, he's traded to New Jersey for Andrei Loktinov, no idea, and a 2017 conditional third-round pick, which became Morgan Geekie. Now, if you recognize that name, that's because he just signed with Boston as a free agent. He was with Seattle for their first 2 years. He played in Carolina. He was selected from Carolina in the expansion draft for Seattle. And, so he's still playing in the NHL. He was a 2017 third. Shows that a third-round pick can make the NHL. 2013-14 then with the Devils. 19 games played after the deadline. 3 goals, 5 assists, 8 points. Devils do not make the playoffs either, as they are in a rough era themselves. 2014-15, his last debatably full season. 77 games played. 7 goals, 6 assists, 13 points as the offense kind of drops out from under him. And then 2015-16, with just not being able to stay healthy, he plays 33 games, no goals, 1 assist, 1 point, no playoffs for him. He signs a tryout the next year with the Canucks. He gets released by Jim Benning, released a statement saying that they released him from his professional tryout contract. And he then goes over to play in the Swiss League for a bit. Now, the thing about Ruutu, he played a ton internationally. He may have not had the flashy stats with the NHL. Internationally, he won a ton of medals. 2010 and 2014 at the Olympics. Well, 2010 was Vancouver, 2014 was Sochi. He wins Olympic bronze. In the World Championships in 2006 and 2008, he wins bronze. In 2007, he wins silver. In 2011, he wins gold, of course with Finland because he's Finnish. At the World Junior Championships in 2002 and 2003, he wins bronze. In 2001, he wins silver. At the World Under-18 Championships in 2000, he wins gold. And in the World Cup of Hockey in 2004, he wins silver. So, good amount of medals there. You win 2, 4, 6 bronze, you win 1, 2, 3 silver, and you win 1, 2 gold medals. So, oh my gosh, no. Well, I think my screen just froze, so I'm going to call it here. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I shall see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.